This game is sponsored by...
I could even ask you about the underdog mentality. That's what you talk about. And also talk about how significant the first goal is. You mentioned that.
That kid's small.
Oh, we were supposed to go 5 seconds ago.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2024 FCIAC Boys Soccer Championship being held here at Dunning Field, the home of the Rams. One of the teams not playing in it will be New Canaan. Instead, it's the number 1 ranked team in the FCIAC, Greenwich. The Greenwich Cardinals hosting, quote-unquote, hosting the Stamford Black Knights. And guys, myself, John Friedrich, joined alongside Charlie O'Neill and Claire Greason. Let's talk about this game, right? Coming into this game, you got a 7 seed versus a 1 seed. Probably not a matchup you would have expected going into this tournament, but one of the best matchups that you'll see of the entire season. A big game for both of these teams. Stamford trying to finally make it back on top of the FCIAC, which they haven't done in many, many years. And then on the Greenwich side, they're trying to maintain that level of excellence. And to my left is Charlie O'Neill, and to my right is Claire. Charlie, you called the girls' game last night where the New Canaan Rams came out victorious in the girls' FCIAC Soccer Championship. They won for the first time in a while. Talk to me about this game, how the pace of play is going to be determined by that first goal, and so on, what each team needs to do to be successful in a game like this.
Yeah, you know, for the Rams last night, getting that first goal set up by Claire was big. Was big for the team. It was taken on a penalty shot, and that was huge for the Rams. Set the momentum, set the pace, and I think for both teams tonight, especially the Stamford Black Knights, they need to use that pace on the wings and in the middle and put pressure on the defense and get them to crack and finally get that first one in the back of the net.
Yeah, and then Claire, obviously the 7 seed coming into this game is going to feel a little bit of emotions, feel a little bit of maybe intimidation, but you also mentioned that they're going to come out with a little bit more energy. Talk to me about coming out as a 7 seed against the top team in the FCIAC, against one of the better teams in the state as well. Talk to me about that added level of anticipation, excitement, and those nerves.
No, yeah, exactly what you said. Coming out as an underdog, it's a great way. You have all this energy. You're going to go out there and you're going to put up your best, and I think actually Greenwich should be scared. I mean, you have all these guys coming out with all this momentum, and you never know what they could put out.
Yeah, and then when it comes to playoff soccer, we saw it last night. A 1-1 match went to penalty kills. These goals are going to come at a premium, and it's going to be more of a defensive game, would you guys say, right? Like,
yeah.
You're going to get those drives, but you're also going to see a lot of strong defense from both of these teams. Greenwich has not lost a single match all season. They come in 12-0 and 3 ties, and then on the other side, Stamford comes in 8-3-5. Both these teams have experience tying, and the last time these two teams faced off, they tied 2-2. We know there won't be a tie tonight. Someone will come out victorious, but this close game, this atmosphere. Let's move on to that atmosphere, right, Charlie?
Yep.
You know, you mentioned it coming in, you know, walking around, you kind of saw the student section. Talk to me about that student section on both sides and that extra level of excitement, not just from the players, but also from the crowd.
Yeah, so you know both teams have been here before, and they know what that atmosphere is like, and they know what it's going to be like. But up there in the press box last night, you could just feel the intensity from the stands, and I think that's going to be a key factor tonight. And Claire, I think you could touch on that it's for the players, it brings that adrenaline and really gets them going.
Yeah, the players are going to feel a sort of adrenaline, and I think they just can't play with any nerves. They got to go out there and believe that each one of them has each other's backs, and they're out there, and they just got to put everything that they put, the blood, sweat, and tears that they put into the season, and really just show it tonight in the final.
These teams coming into this game, hardware on the line, the 2024 FCIAC Championship. Before we get started, we might want to roll a couple of highlights, though, from last night's game. The New Canaan girls taking down St. Joseph. We know tonight's going to be a close game. We're going to get a highlight tape from this game as well, but let's take a couple look at the highlights. You see the refs lining up, then Claire herself kicking it off. That was the start of the kickoff. Then you see there's Pino, the star player for the Cadets, walking in. And here's New Canaan, but a lot of strong defense. You see great goalkeeping by both the goalies in the match last night. So you're going to see a lot of great goalkeeping tonight as well. And then there's the missed shots, but also capitalizing off those opportunities comes down to just be that much more important, right? You get a couple of those opportunities where you break free past the defender. This was the foul that ended up setting up the first goal of the game. It was a Page Place shot to the left, putting the Rams on top 1-0 in the defensive first half. That was at the start of the second half too as well, so you saw no scoring. We'll see how many goals we get tonight, but here we'll be back in here just a minute on NCTV after we go through starting lineups and the national anthem.
Number 7, Andre Lopez. Number 8, Felipe Stemenzo. Number 10, Noel Vargas. Number 15, Tyler Zembulinski. Danielle. Number 21, Owen Fideli. Number 26, Rory O'Halloran. Number 29, Adrian Hernandez. And number 30, Elian Ochoa. Head coach of Stamford is Mike Suma. Assistant coaches are Joey Suma, Rafael Ruffo, Max Fetterman. And now here's tonight's starting lineup for the Greenwich Cardinals. Number 3, Finn Hugh Jones. Number 6, Manny Bonilla. Number 10, Matt Maloney. Number 12, Guy Rizzo. Number 13, Patrick Miller. Number 23, Francisco Luzuriaga. Number 25, Marco Soares. Number 30, Santiago Latuada. Number 31, Juan Bruzon. Number 32, Henry Davis. Number 33, Miguel Leon. Head coach of Greenwich, Kirk Putnam. Assistant, Ray Marshall. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand of the Star Spangled Banner. Tonight's game, a quick announcement. Cheer for your team, not against their opponent. Any disruptive behavior in the stands directed toward other players, coaches, other fans, you will be ejected from the stadium. Once again, cheer for your team, not against their opponent. Any disruptive behavior will not be tolerated. Thank you.
NCTV 78, the live stream, the production of the 2024 FCIAC Boys Soccer Championship. On the left, you have the Greenwich Cardinals, and on the right, you have the Stamford Knights. You see the Knights in white and the Cardinals in red. We're just about to get started here. The 1 versus 7 seed in the FCIAC tournament. Myself, John Frieders, to my left, Charlie O'Neill, and to my right, Claire Greason. And to start this game off, right, we talked a little bit about that intensity. I know Charlie and I, we walked on that field pregame and we kind of saw that intensity. We felt it, didn't just see it. We felt the energy, the seriousness to a game such as a championship like this. But Claire, you played in one last night. What's the key to getting started off hot, right? Kind of mellowing those nerves, getting settled in, and really getting a lot of opportunities early on. What's that big key?
Yeah, well, I said it earlier. You just got to take all those nerves and you got to push them down. You just have to play your game. And these boys, they just have to go out there and they have to take all that energy that they've been feeling, and they just have to go out here and play the game that they've been doing all season.
For the Cardinals, it'll be Guy Rizzo going to get things started, the first person to touch the ball here for the 2024 FCIAC Boys Soccer Championship, just moments away. Crowd's now feeling in both sides. Lots of energy.
Yeah, John, and last time these teams met, it was a 2-2 draw on October 1st. So these numbers, 7 seed or 1 seed, really just go away. And now that you're in this championship atmosphere, I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
And you think, right, those numbers really go away in any playoff game. A team has an opportunity to leave a mark, no matter the seeding, and both these teams have shown resilience throughout the entire year. You look at it, right, 8 ties between the two teams this entire year. That's a lot of ties just staying in games, and only 3 combined losses between these two teams. We're off and away. Here, ball now being battled by both the Cardinal and a Knight. Ball on the left side.
A lot of physicality over here on this close side.
That ball deflected.
I was going to say the same thing, Charlie. This game looks like it's going to be a physical one.
Ball deflected off of Ochoa. Goes out of bounds. A good touch on the head of Lopez. Be brought down. So now it'll be the Cardinals' ball. You see lots of fans lining up along that fence, trying to bring that extra energy, that excitement to both these teams.
Yeah, you know, that's definitely going to be a factor, having maybe the chirps thrown from the sidelines going on to you. I think as a team, Claire, you could even vouch that you just got to block out the noise and you really just got to play your game.
Charlie, you're so right. You really just have to block out the noise and you have to focus in on what's happening. It's always nice having those supporters and that energy, but right now they just have to focus on what they're doing.
Ball being moved around by the Cardinals now, out of bounds. Possession arrow flips back to the Knights. Ball controlled over on that far side. And taken away by Rizzo. My apologies, that was Vargas taking the ball away. Noel Vargas, the team's leading scorer during the season. 12 goals, has 2 in this postseason, trying to tally a few more tonight. Ball on foot of Miller now. Dropped in, good head touch though from the Knights.
That's what Greenwich needs to look for all night. They need to get the ball out to the right wing, and they just have to keep crossing those balls in. If they can get it anywhere where the Knights are facing their own goal, they're going to have a much higher chance of scoring.
Now ball looked like trying to complete the pass downfield, but ball just going to be picked up by the keeper. Number 1, Mark Zambino. I'm sure we'll say his name a lot tonight. Both these goalies going to have to bring their A game, right, stopping those shots, and also providing that extra level of defense. Ball played in. We'll see. Just saw the replay, but ball played in again. Great touch off the chest of Ochoa.
Plenty of pressure here coming from both teams. As you know, we said that their defense is really going to have a remarkable game, and I think that's what we're seeing right now.
And you know, you also got to give these familiar opponents kind of some time to set up their offense, figure out what's going to work, what's not working as well. Make those adjustments. Those in-game adjustments are so important, especially having played so many games this season, right? These teams know each other, know what they're trying to stop, know what they're looking for. You know the other players, you know the other team's star players, who you're trying to stop. And sometimes it's those people, it's the supporting players that need to rise up to the challenge, as well as the star players.
This could be an opportunity for Greenwich. The corners can be deadly.
There's the corner ball placed in. Good placement.
Oh!
A shot.
Oh, it's
Great
cleared
save,
off the
bicycle
goal line.
kick. Up in the air. Oh my gosh.
Cleared off the goal line. Oh my goodness.
Let's see, we should get a replay of that. Not entirely sure who was that last line of defense on the goal line that kept that ball out.
Could have been an early goal, as I mentioned. That first goal is so important. Not only does it set the momentum for the rest of the game, but you also have that on the scoreboard and have that in your back pocket that you're always going to be able to use.
Yeah, and now look at those corners, right? Corners such a big part of soccer. Those corners provide for so many opportunities, even off of redirections and off of second, third opportunities off the foot. Ball possession back in the hands of Greenwich after that close opportunity. Great throw in on the side, far side. Go off the head of Vargas.
Oh,
Greenwich coming out strong here, looks. That's gonna be number 10, Maloney, drawing the first foul.
the refs early on are calling a lot of fouls, so this game, there could be potential danger on these fouls. These free kicks, there's going to be a lot of them.
Suarez out from about the 35-yard line, trying to play in a good ball. Does just that, gets an opportunity. See good defense, though, by the Knights. Ball in the corner. The shot goes off a defender. Here is Maloney on that right side. Great defense, though.
You know, they're definitely going to have to use that wing speed, as I know they have, because they're going to have to get those balls as close to the net as they can to maybe get a touch in or maybe directly in.
Yeah, and Claire, speaking from experience in big games like this, piece of play, right? Do you want to play it? If you're the team that's getting those opportunities, do you want to go out? Do you want to play at a fast pace, or do you want to kind of slow it down, right? Control those opportunities and control the ball.
You want to, initially, you want to get all of your players up when you have the ball, and you want to try and control that momentum, but I mean, sometimes you just got to take them straight on and hope that all of your players get in the box.
Good save from Zampino there. On the ball at midfield.
And last year, the Knights were in the championship for both FCIAC and States, and they lost both those matchups. So we talked to Coach Soma, that he definitely wants those back, and I think tonight is the chance for that.
Yeah, but you look up and down this roster, lots of upperclassmen, lots of guys that played in those games last year, come back with that experience. That's got to help them, right, if you're the Knights. Lots of experience in big games and an opportunity.
The Knights' defense is really, really good tonight. They are keeping Maloney out to the outside and not letting him cross the ball in.
Battle for the ball there by Zimplenski and Miller. Ball cleared ahead. Goes off the head of the Greenwich defense, though. Saw a running attempt by Fideli. There's the ball going down the left side. Trying to get the ball on the foot of his teammate.
Unfortunately, could not do that.
O'Halloran just could not reach out and get the ball going back to Greenwich. Good job playing the ball there, but great defense by Danielle. See now here's Stamford with an opportunity. A free kick from about the 29-yard line, and I know, just speaking from my experience calling games, right, you got to be careful of the shot attempt here. Although it might not look likely, these guys got strong feet, got strong legs, and really can pull up from anywhere on that field.
You could hear from the stands that they could definitely do it. The excitement they just got, he could definitely take this one.
Great ball inside by Vargas. Vargas putting the foot, but a great save by the Greenwich keeper. There, Leon. Claire, how do you defend a free kick like that where you're about that 30, 35-yard line where you don't know if they're going to shoot or if they're going to try to pass it into a teammate? What's the best defensive strategy to stop something like that?
It's really a 50-50 chance. You don't know if they're going to chip it short or if you're going to shoot on goal, but you want to make sure that each one of your players is marking up, and that's really where the communication comes in. And I think there's going to need to be a lot of communication on the defensive and offensive line.
Bad turnover there from Zampino, stolen away by the Cardinals. Tiptoeing the line is Latuada. Latuada just couldn't keep the ball in bounds. Now ball back on the foot of Zampino, but those mistakes, right? Those mistakes can be costly. Almost saw the mistake there by Zampino, just trying to get it to his teammate. Overshot it with a little bit too much. Almost ended in the hands of a Greenwich Cardinal. Now ball goes way up.
The conditions are definitely going to be a factor here now that it is raining, and that's definitely going to be a factor in this game for both these teams.
Yeah, it is raining, right? That just means that the turf's going to get a little bit slippery. So you're going to have to play with it. You're going to have to see what's happening. Not sure if we had rain on the kind of the weather template, but
yeah,
we're going to get a little bit of rain tonight. That won't stop these two teams.
But they do have to be careful because the ball is going to move so much faster as this rain picks up.
Especially for the goalies. No, I used to play goalie myself, and we used to play in the rain, and sometimes it'll just get too fast where I can't even see the ball.
Latuada gonna take a shot, try to pass it in, kicked out by that Knight defense.
Greenwich is doing a really good job of getting to those second balls when they pop right back out.
Now ball on the foot of Miller. Here's Miller trying to weave in and out. Ball again taken away by that strong Knights defense. The ball back in the hands of Miller. Who passes up to his teammate. It'll be Manila. Manila over to the side. That's Latuada. Knight defender gonna keep it out. Headed out, the smart decision.
That's what could have been a dangerous shot there, but unfortunately for them, they could not communicate enough and get that foot on the ball.
Yeah, you're seeing right now O'Halloran chasing. Just out there running. Basically running a sprint for about 30 seconds, applying pressure. Up front, attacking.
Yeah, I myself know what it's like to be running constantly back and forth. It's going to take a lot out of him, but he's going to break down their defense eventually.
Yeah, when you do that right, you keep on attacking, and you kind of want to be the one that makes the defense, makes the goalie make a mistake, and then capitalize off that mistake.
But I think as a defense, you got to bend, don't break. And I think that's going to be a key factor, as even if they get that first one in, it bends them, but it does not break them as a team, and they got to stay connected. They stay as a group and put one in the back of the other team's net so then they can tie it up.
Now it'll be Ochoa. The free kick for the Knights. Then good save, though, by Leon. Leon able to have an eye on that the entire time the ball was in the air, making easy save.
See, he slipped up there because of the conditions now.
You know, you're noticing right from the beginning, Greenwich is starting to do fast transitions. And I think that's going to be a crucial thing in this game.
And there's the first yellow card of the night. See if we can get a replay of that to see who the card exactly was on. But the ref pulls out the yellow card.
Yeah, that was on number 8, Felipe, and that's going to be a trouble for him now that if he gets another one tonight, he is gone.
Here is Hugh Jones, the free kick. Well on his own side. ball over in that far corner. See a couple Knights defenders battling it out, and a couple of Cardinals. Ball back in the hands of Stamford. Conditioning, so looks like they're getting a little bit better. Rain not coming down as hard. Here, almost ball kind of grazing that upper body close to the hands. You got to be careful of that as well. Now ball cleared down by the Cardinals, goes out of bounds. Ball's cleared down by the Knights, trying to give an opportunity to someone.
They're announcing the game behind you, so you're going to have to move it down. Sorry about that. Thank you.
See here a little bit of dead time. Clock still running. 26:15 remaining in this first half. Been a bit of a defensive first half, right? Just kind of looking for an opportunity, but great defense by the Knights. We saw that opportunity early on from the Cardinals where the ball kind of toe danced that line, but haven't seen any success since.
Yeah, and I've called a lot of games, especially soccer games, John, and I can tell you this is one of the most intense games I've seen so far. Last night was definitely one, but tonight it's on a whole nother level.
Ball played over to Miller. There's Miller going to be taken down. Ball goes out of bounds.
But that pressure, again, like we were saying, from the Stamford Knights is going to be crucial. And like you were saying, Charlie, you got to make sure that this defense does not break. They just have to bend.
Good header there by Danielle, getting over the top of a red jersey. Ball now back in the hands of the keeper, Zampino.
You're definitely going to be hearing that name a lot tonight, as he is one of the most dominant players on this field at all times.
Here are the Cardinals now back in their own zone, trying to move the ball around, trying to find an open lane. Down that side, a drive. All over to Latuada, then over to Fideli. Ball off the foot of Fideli, off a Cardinals jersey. Goes out of bounds. Now ball goes back to Greenwich, and also Claire, scheme-wise, right? You're going to play a lot more defenders back. You're not going to be as aggressive up front with the midfielders, with the wings. You're going to play a couple of those people back as well. How does that affect not just your defense, but also your offense?
Well, your offense is going to have to work a ton. It's so much harder. I mean, you're going to have one player up there with three if you bring both of those players back. So, I mean, tactically, they just have to think here, what's the best option?
Yeah, playing conservative might be the key here. Maybe not pressuring the offense too much to get up, but definitely not letting anything behind you.
Ball back now in the hands of the Cardinals. It'll be a free kick opportunity for Miller, who just dumps it off to Latuada. Back over to Miller now. Miller, ball on the foot, gonna kick it all the way in. Not sure exactly what was called on that play, but they did. Looks like they'll call him out. And you see just here, right? Obviously in front of us, there's a lot of fans. Lots of people. This is probably the most full I've seen Dunning Stadium for a game other than football this entire year. The past couple of years, both these towns rallying together. Lots. I'd say Stamford's definitely a soccer town, and Greenwich is that as well, but both towns coming together, bringing lots of fans, lots of energy. As Maloney carries the ball over to Miller. Then Miller back towards the middle of the field. Ball now on the foot of Latuada.
Ladawada already displaying some great foot skills on the side wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greenwich not being the biggest team is definitely going to play a factor, but they're using their physicality smartly here, and they're not going too crazy with what they need to do, but they're doing just right.
Ball on the foot of Brazzoni. Brazzoni carrying it in, looking to advance that ball. Ball goes back to him, then he heads it a few yards forward. Ball over to the side, that's Miller. Miller dumping it off, but ball gets stolen, pickpocketed by Danielle. Danielle finds a teammate. That'll be Jimenchenko.
You know, Greenwich is doing a great job finding space and using the open pockets. And then right when the Knights get it back, they're doing a great job of staying locked down on defense, but they just need to connect their passes more if they want to get up the field.
Yeah, and you kind of also got to think, right, that next step, not just the pass in front of you, but kind of, and not just where your teammate is, but where you think they're going to be. That's how you're going to beat the defense. You're not going to beat the defense by connecting these passes because the defenses are too good that they'll read them. It's kind of setting up your teammate, whether that's an inch or two forward, giving an opportunity to run. As you see the pass there by the Cardinal, doing exactly what I was saying,
Exactly
giving
what
your
you were
teammate,
saying.
an opponent, right, to get out there, run, get out in front of a defender.
Yeah, but they got to be careful of that offsides because that could definitely play a role. As if they're just a little bit too far forward, they're going to get called.
Ball back now on the foot of Miller. Miller's controlled the ball. Big kick over, but good header from the Knights defense, keeping that one out. Just going to kick it out to the side. Almost hits a teammate on the sideline, but smart job, right? Get the ball out and kick it out to the side. You never want to kick behind you because one corner could be the decisive factor in a game like this. We've seen one so far. Great job by both teams, doing a good job of avoiding those corners, giving corners to the other teams.
Yeah, and before, John, we both went and talked to Coach Suma, and he said they're treating it as just like it's any other game. But unfortunately for them, it's not just any other game. It's one of the biggest games. It is possibly the biggest game of the year. And I think Coach Suma is doing a great job telling his team, calming them down, but knowing that this game is a big game for them.
Ball now carried, going to be thrown in by number 25, Suarez.
We're just about halfway through this first half.
A little bit more than halfway through the first half. My apologies, we are halfway through the first half now. Still knotted up at 0. You see another foul call there. No card drawn out, but a free kick awarded to the Knights. Here are the Knights looking for an opportunity. They haven't been on offense much and haven't gotten a good, sustainable offensive possession nor a really good shot opportunity as well. Now ball back on the side. It's kind of a battle for possession, right? Neither team able to fully maintain possession, just going back and forth. Defense is clearing it out quickly. That's what you're going to have to do.
Yeah, I think you're mentioning maintaining possession, but I think definitely tonight, excuse me, so far, Greenwich has definitely been dominating just a little bit more. But on the start of last night's game, first half, St. Joseph was definitely controlling ball a little bit more. But then we saw the Rams take over, and I think maybe that's what the Knights need to do here. Just kind of take over, calm themselves down, slow the game down, slow the pace down, and then figure out a way to get some more shots on net.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Knights' nerves, but talk about the Cardinals' nerves, right? Coming into this game, you are 12-0-3. You haven't lost a game yet, but you have that extra added pressure of almost being expected to win a game like this because you haven't lost. Although you guys did tie Stamford earlier this year, you do have that added pressure of being the 1 seed in the FCIAC tournament, and almost that pressure, not now, but that pressure of making it far in the tournament as well. As that ball's picked up by Leon. Leon kicks it far past midfield. Back in the offensive zone for the Cardinals. Ball now on the foot of Latuada.
And you mentioned that tie that they had together But Greenwich also tied Danbury and Darien. 2 great games, 2 great teams as well. And I think that kind of plays a key factor here that you are undefeated in the case, but this is the one team that you tied. Maybe they want to get that one back.
Ball now in that corner. Good pass. Look ahead. Here come the Knights. Ball down that far sideline, trying to connect the pass.
That's exactly what the Knights have to keep looking for. Those through balls.
And there's the pass inside the shot.
Oh!
Wide left.
Just
what
wide.
A shot opportunity.
He definitely wishes he could have that one back, as you can see the expression he's giving.
I believe that was Vargas on the shot.
Typically does not miss those, but there he does.
We'll see here once he gets a little bit closer and turns. It was Vargas. Exactly, I had thought. You just saw the replay there. Vargas gets a little bit out ahead, then runs, got the shot opportunity, just could not connect. Maybe it would have been easier if he would have tried to kick it with his left foot, not his right foot, and come cross body, but just could not find the net at all, missing wide left.
That's what the Knights have to keep looking for, though. Like exactly what you said, the through balls from the back line straight into the midfield. They just have to keep moving the ball because that's how they're going to break this Greenwich defense.
Ball back on the foot. Vargas for the free kick. You just saw that excitement build up as that ball played in. You hear the crowd, the audio levels start to raise. Vargas providing excitement now. It'll not be Vargas. Vargas running in instead of Latuada. And there's Ochoa bouncing up and down, almost set up his teammate perfectly for success, just could not find.
And you can hear the stands erupting. You know, the Stamford team haven't had many chances so far, but just had 2 back-to-back great opportunities, and you can hear Stamford's really getting excited here.
Good header, just a little bit too powerful as that one goes over and above the net. Now ball cleared out.
Yeah, and you know,
both Zampino.
Both coaches for Stamford are brothers, coaching for 4 years so far, and I think that connection that they have kind of is getting their team riled up and getting them going, and you could tell both of them coaching together, not as individuals, but doing that together really puts into perspective what this team and what this game really means to them.
And as you guys were saying earlier about the atmosphere, just like you just said, Charlie, you can really see the atmosphere starting to pick up. The noise, the energy. We're in for a game.
Ball possession back to the Knights, throwing it in to Vargas. And ball taken away by Carvalho. You see a teammate in a little bit of pain there.
You see ref stops the clock there.
Looked like a Cardinal might have landed on his leg. We'll see here. The Knight still on the ground, the injured Knight.
You never like to see players getting on the ground and getting hurt. You know, bodies have been flying so far. Luckily, no one's been taken out due to injury, but here seems to be all right.
Vargas, not one you want to go down to either. If you're the Knights, right, you can't have one of your star players go down with an injury. He gets back up. Hopefully he's okay. And here is Miller. Miller with that big, powerful lay, dumps it all the way in. Looks like a little bit of a confusion on whether or not to let that ball go through to the goalie or stop it. Decided to stop it, but then kind of just stood there. Probably should have punted it away. Now ball back in the corner for a throw-in, my apologies, not a corner, but a throw-in. And the header could not find anything. Ball slides to the right just a little bit too much, but you talk about positioning. If that ball is 3, 4, 5 feet farther down the sideline, that could be a corner, but instead it's a throw, and you see on the replay here, the throw-in off the head of a Cardinal. just wide right. Both teams getting a couple scoring opportunities here, though, as this second half of the first half has progressed.
Yeah, as I mentioned, keep mentioning that these fans are really getting into it. Last night, the stands were not as much filled out as you see the ref talking to them now. That's definitely going to be a factor. And last night, the stands weren't as much filled, but since this is more of a neutral position, this is going to be definitely devastating for the refs, but for the players, it's definitely going to be a key factor.
And now you hear Coach Brown telling everyone you can't use noisemakers, gets boos from the entire crowd, but this atmosphere is electric. Here at Dunning Field, you mentioned not at either one of these teams' home fields, rather at a neutral site, the way the FCIAC always does it, where those semifinals and championship games are at neutral sites. Ball back here.
Just going to let that one roll.
Going to be protected by Hugh Jones. Not wanting to let Vargas get a foot on it. Again,
Over
aggressive
the back
defense.
there.
You've seen that time and time again by the Knights, right? No, it hasn't been called too often tonight, but that was clearly
And over,
the back, as you mentioned. But both these teams super, super aggressive and only expect that physicality to increase. You know, the refs have been playing a little bit stricter in this first half, something that you don't really see often in big rivalry games or big championship settings. Good defense again from the Knights. Ball taken away
Push in the back.
by Davis, but he's going to be called for the push in the back, as you mentioned, Claire. Davis looking like he doesn't want to give that ball up. Just dribbling it around.
Did he get the yellow card? Yellow card.
That's the second yellow card of the night, one being on the Knights, and this is the first one for the Cardinals.
Ball will be on the foot of Ochoa. Ochoa playing from the back tonight. He's got Vargas up top. He's got a couple other teammates. There's Ochoa trying to find Vargas. Vargas going up, but didn't have the size advantage, the height advantage, I should say. Here's the Cardinals trying to get out and run with it. Ball going to be tried to clear to the side, but off of the teammate's head that goes.
On third yellow card of the night.
Second one quite close to the first one that the Cardinals had, and I believe that is their captain. And that's going to be devastating for the Cardinals as he cannot get another one, clearly.
Yeah, that one on Maloney. And you kind of talk about that physicality. Now you got a couple of yellow cards. How do you tame this physicality and tame the chance that you're getting at getting these calls while also keeping up, maintaining that level of physicality and that level of energy?
Well, these teams just have to play smart here because, I mean, if you got 2 yellow cards and you're out, and I don't think either one of these teams wants to lose any of their players. So they really have to start playing smart here in how they're playing physically.
There's a
talked-
Knight, 2 a Knight on that right side.
John, we both also talked to Coach Putnam, and he said some of their players are a little banged up, and if they lose one of those players, they're going to have their subs fill in.
Vargas looking up front, the shot, the save there. Big save from Leone.
Great stop. That was a major save.
And you mentioned that the goalies are truly the real back line, and that's going to be a key factor tonight as these goalies are so far stepping up for their teams.
Yeah, you saw the pass inside again, anticipating where your teammate's going to be, delivering the pass, and giving your teammate a chance, a shot.
And great
at
job
shooting
staying
it.
on sides. Great job staying on sides. That is the crucial thing here.
Good takeaway from the Cardinal defense, going to
See
be
multiple-
cleared up. You see that ball might have deflected, maybe just a little bit wet now as the rain's coming down a little bit more. A little bit of extra physicality. And it looks like they may call a push in the back on Laduada.
Ref getting him a quick little warning as he is clearly frustrated.
There's the big powerful kick from Ochoa up to Vargas. Vargas, ball redirected behind him, then now ball back in the hands of Ladawada, moving up along that right sideline. Ladawada jumping over.
If Greenwich can continue to move that ball forward and get numbers up while Stamford still has players on the Greenwich half, that'll be a key thing for Greenwich tonight.
Yeah, and you see that's what Greenwich is trying to do right now, right, is turn from defense to offense so quickly that Stamford doesn't have enough time to get back, as they've seen the aggressiveness and kind of the physicality, the aggressiveness ramp up, but also you've seen Stamford a few coaching adjustments, right? You've seen them play a little bit more up and play more offensively in comparison to the defensive mindset that they came out with. Miller again along that right sideline, whether it's his foot or his hands, he's gotten the ball within good positioning to a Greenwich Cardinal teammate. Ball now on the side of Ladawada. Ladawada trying to work in the corner. Ball goes out of bounds off of Ladawada. So ball back to the Knights.
It's going to be a goal kick. Again, fast transition for both teams.
Yeah, getting to the final minutes of this first half is going to be key as they want to get those final pieces and final shots on net.
If one of these teams can score here, I think it's going to change the entire dynamic of this game, especially before halftime.
Yeah, and that begs the question, right? Do you play to get the first goal, or do you play to not allow the first goal? There's that difference in mindset.
I think right now both teams are playing not to let up that first goal instead of playing to get that first goal, but they definitely need to change that at least just a little bit so they can get extra pressure versus the other team getting the pressure on them.
Hey, unless these teams want to give us a penalty shootout, I mean, I'm not complaining if we end up going to PKs.
Yeah.
That extra excitement, we're a little bit early to be talking about that, but not disappointed if both these teams want to just come out and play defensively.
As it used to result maybe in co-champs, but now we have been confirmed that there are no co-champions, and it's going to go as long as it needs to go.
2 PKs and 2 Knights would be pretty electric, Charlie, don't you think? Good job, ball up front.
Oh.
Ball just out of reach of the Cardinal. Great defense again by the Black Knights.
The
Good
Cardinals
job
are
by
getting
the
great
Knights.
looks.
See multiple Cardinals on the ground. Now one gets up, but another grabbing his knee in agony. So again, playing those through balls, that's the way that one of these teams is going to score, right, is by a good through ball and good positioning, kind of right in line, almost like a bang-bang play. We'll see on the replay here. See the through ball, then great job by the Stamford defender. That was Owen Fideli getting back on defense, playing good defense. It'll result, though, in a free kick for the Cardinals. Now this time from the 20-yard line, so lots of possibility to shoot this ball if they so do wish. None other than Ladawada. Ladawada decides to shoot. Instead goes through the uprights. Won't result in a goal. Right idea from Ladawada. As we'll see the replay, just a little bit too much on this one. Trying to go top left corner, but could not find it. See now Stamford getting a little bit moving quick in transition, just ball skids away. Again, we mentioned that ball moves a bit faster when that turf is wet. Both these teams used to playing on turf. I know we talked to Coach Schumo before the game. He said his team had not played a single game this season on grass. But
or at home for that. They've been practicing one at West Beach, and they've been playing at West Beach, so they have had not one true, real home game in upwards of 2 years.
Yeah, definitely interesting, though, to kind of look at the conditions. You know, weather's going to stay about 55 degrees Looks like it's raining a little bit.
And how they're going to affect this game overall. I mean, you just saw how fast the ball was skidding, and that's going to be a real issue for the players.
A game of adjustments. You know, we've seen Stamford, we've seen Greenwich both make adjustments in this first half. It's all about making the right adjustments, though, as the Knights get it up and above the kick.
Some looking for a handball there, as we have seen plenty of balls above the waist, and that's definitely going to be a factor. If it does touch the hand, that is going to be a change of possession. And especially late in this first half, you cannot have that.
Carvalho at midfield, passing it up to his teammate, then ball back in the foot of Miller. Miller feeds it over. Good defense again by the Cardinals, though. Here come the Cardinals on the charge. My apologies, the Knights on the charge. Get tangled up. Ref's gonna let him play. Here is Vargas over to Fideli. Fideli on that left side. Fideli, good ball inside, kicked away by the Cardinals.
Yeah, you see.
Ball's gonna go out of bounds. Won't result in a corner. A throw in from the side.
You see both
Talk
teams.
me through this, Owen. Talk me through this, Charlie, on the left side.
Yeah, you see both teams have done the same thing, just clearing the ball as far as they can. And you see there, Greenwich just got it out of their box. They don't want anything near or inside the box.
Throwing for
Reese
Stamford.
Fideli throwing it in to his teammate, then ball kicked high up in the air, headed out by the Cardinals.
Mentioning those last final minutes, we are reaching the 5-minute mark of this first half.
Good defense, time and time again. That one being cleared away by the Knights. That's been the recipe to success so far tonight. That bread and butter, getting the ball out quickly and to the sides, getting it out right away.
And as you were saying earlier, neither one of these teams wants to be the team that gets scored on right before halftime.
Here are the Cardinals on that far left side. Ball goes off a Knight.
Keeping that fast pace going.
Here come ball to midfield, but kicked away. Gonna go back in the hands, in the feet, I should say, of the Knights defense.
Now it's Patrick Miller there clearing the ball away.
And there's Zampino kicking it out and away. A misplay there, though, off the head of a Knight defender now. Bicycle attempt, trying to get the through ball into a teammate. The foot, the little bit of extra special touch. Just could not get it to a teammate. Crowd wanting a call there. Both these teams now going at it. Refs letting them play a little bit more too. You know, we saw the refs call lots of stuff that first 20 minutes, but let's be honest here, all the fans want to see a little bit of physicality. They want to see the refs let the kids play for the championship. Good in ball, just could not find anyone. No one home. Ball picked by Zampino. Zampino now. Downstate gonna kick it away. Zampino right to a Cardinal head, though. Not gonna help himself out.
Fourth yellow card of the night. This one is going to the Knights. Oh my goodness.
Lots of yellow cards too, most of them on the Knights as well. We've seen Greenwich end up with a couple free kicks.
We're half and half right now. Two
and
yellow
two.
cards for the Greenwich Cardinals and 2 for the Knights.
Yeah, Claire, you know on your team you have plenty of upperclassmen. For the Knights tonight, there are 17 seniors, and for the Greenwich boys, they have 22. Can you tell me about how that experience really shapes your team?
I think having the leadership from the upperclassmen is such an advantage, especially for I myself as a newcomer coming to the team. It's really nice to have those leaders to look up to them, and they just show you how to play this game so well. So that's an advantage I think they could have.
Ball goes back in the corner. We'll see, they're gonna give it. It's gonna be a goalie ball. Looked like the Cardinals wanted a corner there, but instead, ball goes to the Knights. My apologies, not to the Cardinals. going to be a goalie kick, but it will be someone else taking the kick for the Knights. Ball kicked up way past midfield. You see that ball now skidding just a few yards more as well each time it's kicked. Turnover to the Cardinals.
Great ball movement from Greenwich right now.
Ball back on the foot of Miller. Miller with the quick touch pass, then back to Miller, but a good glove save by Zampino. Zampino kicking that one away, high up into the air. See if one of these teams gets risky, right, and tries to end up with that goal before the end of the first half, or if they play defensive as well. Good through ball. Just could not find Toro on the chase.
That'll be a handball.
Looked like he slipped on the wet turfs and ball
Like we were
in
saying
the hands
again,
of Leon.
the conditions. You can see the rain starting to pick up again and how this is affecting the game.
Excuse me, sir. We're filming right behind you. Can you put that down a little bit, please? Thank you.
Here is Leon. Leon kicking it out and away. Good job, though, by the Knights, right, to keep that ball in play. Try to keep it in the offensive zone. Ball, good footwork by Bonilla. Here's Maloney, eyes up, gazing ahead. Just ball taken away by the Knights.
Reaching the last 30 seconds here in this first half, and the intensity is really coming close as we're going to break into that second half, maybe with a 0-0 score here.
Don't want to jinx it, but looking possible. You got 20 seconds now left. Both teams working. Ball on the foot of the Cardinals, ball on the foot of Leon. Leon in no rush to get this ball out, right? Just gonna hold it, look for a good pass.
Going into halftime, John, Charlie, what do you guys think the coaches are going to try and present to their players to try and shift this game around and try and get some goals on the board?
Yeah, I think, this game so far has been a defensive battle, lots of physicality, both teams really going at it. The weather conditions picking up here, but that's not going to stop anyone. They're going to keep on playing, but I think if you're Stamford, right, you got to be happy with where you are. You're tied 0-0. You've gotten a few offensive opportunities. Your defense is holding strong, and I think you got to have faith in your defense as well. You got to look for those offensive opportunities, but also, you can't give up that goal. You don't want to give up. You don't want to be the team to give up that first goal because that goal could be the only goal of the game.
Yeah, and you can see players staying on the field, keeping warm because you never want to get too cold to where you have to restart everything once again.
And that will do it here on NCTV. The first half of the 2024 FCIAC Boys Championship in the books. We'll see you in a few minutes for the second half and the remainder of the game.
Pitcher from Staples is committed to Penn.
Folks, just another quick announcement. When the bleachers get wet, they get slippery. So please be careful when you're walking around out there on the bleachers. Once again, they're a little slippery, so please be careful. Thank you.
Welcome back here on NCTV 78, streaming the 2024 FCIAC Boys Soccer Championship tied at 0-0. Myself, John Frieders, to my left, Charlie O'Neill, and to my right, Claire Greason. Let's get back to the action here. Both teams knotted at 0, looking for that first goal. See here, what a first half that was for both of these teams. More of a defensive first half, you would say. Really not a lot of offense. You saw a couple offensive opportunities. No one able to find the back of the net, though. Lots of good defense from both teams, especially, though, that Stamford Knight team.
Yeah, and Frieders, we were just in the rain. We know it's coming down hard, and it's going to be hard for these players to stay composed, even if they're slipping up and maybe losing possession because of it.
Yeah, you mentioned weather definitely kind of took a turn. Not for the worst, but just took a turn. It was about 55 degrees and a perfect night here at Dunning until the rain started coming down. Now it's coming down definitely a lot heavier. And both teams, you can tell, we saw them at halftime try to make sure that they didn't get cold. Once you get wet, you get cold, and you can't have that. So definitely a tough game to be over on the bench, but you got to stay warm. You got to be ready to go in because you never know when you can make a special play. We'll see here the Cardinals with opportunity to throw the ball in. Also, right, that ball's going to get slick. The turf's going to get slick, and that ball's going to move a lot faster, so you got to be careful, more careful on your judgments of where you're passing and kind of how far in front you're going to pass that ball, too, as well.
Yeah, for sure. See here, ball's been in the air for quite some time now. Finally getting on the ground.
Now ball back on the foot of Benilla. Then up top to Soares. Over to the corner. That's Uzaraga. Tries to get it over, but taken away by that Knight defense. You see Vargas looking up, trying to pass the ball. That one's going into the stands. Watch out. Look up.
Osalaluego, that ball.
See, not sure you can keep the ball here. Sometimes you walk away with souvenirs, but not sure you can take home an FCIAC ball, right? An FCIAC championship ball, although I'm sure you wish you could.
Yeah, the guy's calling for it back. So unfortunately, that little kid will not be able to keep that one.
Ball's going to be played in this time by Soares. Soares getting it to Maloney, just plays off the head. Back in the hands of that Knight defense. Defense we've talked so much about tonight. Ball over.
Both players keeping the composure, and that's what you love. You don't want to see that arguing, especially as a ref. You're going to have to talk to them constantly.
Now you see here. Ball back to the Knights. You got to kind of play. You see Greenwich coming out here playing aggressive. You see them playing up top. You got 3, 4, 5 attackers trying to take the ball from you at any single moment. And Greenwich now coming down that far sideline. Here come the Cardinals.
Using that speed.
He's going to be tripped. We'll see what they call it. It looks like it's just going to be a goalie ball. A little bit of contact.
I'm going to have to unfortunately disagree with that call. I think he got pulled and tripped, but that's just my personal opinion over here.
That was Laduada. coming down that sideline.
Using that speed like you talked about, Charlie, is going to be such an advantage for the Greenwich team over here, and I think that's exactly what they did, and they just got to keep using that.
Ball up top then. Now Wuzaraga trying to get up to it. There's Wuzaraga gonna be elbowed in the face. We'll see on the replay. Wuzaraga there overrunning, then just gets, not even sure it was an elbow, maybe just a hand towards the throat.
He's smiling, walking off. Maybe he did fake that a little bit there, but that's what you got to do to get those calls.
Is this going to be the fifth yellow card of the night? The ref has a yellow card out in his hand. Fifth yellow card of the night.
5 yellow cards, 4 in just the first half. Only took 4 minutes and 20 seconds into the second half before we got our first yellow card of the second half. Now corner ball, good opportunity for the Cardinals. We'll see who decides to kick it, whether it's Suarez or Rizzo. See now Rizzo running back into the play. It's going to be Suarez. Suarez kicks it, kicks the deep ball, the shot, the header, wide right. Suarez with a good ball, good placement, just could not get it to a teammate who could do something with it. Header goes far right.
Yeah, it looked like it had a chance, but unfortunately for the Cardinals, it did not go their way.
Yeah, and maybe you just got to increase that importance of getting the shots, recognize the importance of getting shots on the net, right? You know, just putting them on net, making the goalie make a save. Don't try to be perfect with where you're placing them.
I totally agree with you on that, especially now with these conditions. The goalies are really going to be put under pressure. The ball's going to be so slick, it goes straight through their hands, straight through their legs. That's really what they're going to have to watch out for
Yeah,
here.
and instead of focusing as a goalie to get possession, you just punch it out, slap it out as far as you can from your net.
There's a good kick here. You see Vargas outrunning a couple defenders. Here's Vargas by himself. Vargas, opportunity shot, in just a bit high. Vargas trying to find the first goal of the night. You heard the excitement from the crowd. Vargas
That's a
got
great
a
first
hold
look
of
for
it.
the Knights. That's a great first look for the Knights.
Look on the replay there. Vargas just a bit too much, trying to go top. As that was good positioning by the goalie, Leon, but Vargas, an opportunity, could not get a shot on net.
I think he was really just trying to chip it over Leon there, but unfortunately he could not.
Yeah, and you know, Claire, we've talked a little bit about that ball being slippery, but how does that change your approach, right? Your angles, the spots you're trying to shoot the ball to rather than being perfect, you know, you mentioned. But how does that change where you're trying to shoot it, how you're trying to pass it, kind of the technical skills of soccer?
Yeah, that's such a good point. It's even hard for the shooter, the striker in this case, to shoot the ball. They're going to have to really figure out how to find that perfect spot, and not almost just about the power, but about the placement, because if you can find the placement, the goalie isn't getting it.
Ball over to the Cardinals just a few moments after Vargas had that opportunity. But that also was after the Cardinals had an opportunity. Both teams coming out strong offensively in this second half. You know, conditions getting progressively worse, the visibility getting worse as well, and a lot wetter there. The ball moving to the side. The Knights trying to kick it out. Looked like it went off of, we'll say the final touch was by a Cardinal.
Going to be a goal kick here. Yeah.
It will be a goal kick for Zampino. Zampino will not take it. It'll be his teammate instead. Gonna kick it up along that near sideline. The header by Freeman. Here is Vargas by himself. Still's got control of the ball, wiggling through a few defenders. Ball now on that far side.
That's a great job of switching the field right there by the Stamford Knights. That's what they got to keep doing, moving that ball fast.
Good in ball by the Knights, just could not find anyone home. Good defensive stop by the Cardinals. Looks like he might be called for a hold or a grab. Looked like his hand clenched up a little bit.
Ochoa, you've seen all night, has had these great long balls into the box. Let's see if he can produce anything now for his team.
Yeah, and if you're Ochoa, you got to think right now you're going to try to pass the ball and instead of shoot, although he does have the foot. Good ball by Ochoa, just a bit too much, trying to find a teammate for the header, could not. Instead, ball goes out.
And hearing that name a lot tonight, as he is a key player for this team.
Now it'll be Zampino. By himself, Zampino on that far right side, obviously in the net of the night. Zampino kicks it out. You see rain increasing. Here's the Cardinals coming back in transition. That transition game, we've talked a little bit about it, opens up offensive opportunities. Has been a bit important in the game so far, but will only get more important as you're trying to catch that defense off guard. Here are the Cardinals by themselves. 2-on-1 opportunity. Ball moved over to Zuriaga. The shot. Good job. The header back towards the middle of the field, though. Cardinals going to recycle it. The ball in. Good play by the goalie there. But he looked like he got punched, maybe caught an elbow. A little bit of physicality.
Yeah, as I talked about, as a goalie, you don't want to go up to grab them. You want to go up to punch them and get them away. That's just what he did. And so he took the hit to make a play, and that's what you got to do tonight.
You never want to see this happen. Never want to see a goalie go down in the game, and this is unfortunate. We're going to bring the trainers out, make sure, hopefully he's okay.
Well, you saw there, great instincts, right, to come out of the box a few steps, try to make a play, and punch the ball out, try to do something. See, you got 4 Knights over on that side. The Cardinals taking this time to huddle. Cardinals almost have a little bit of a mini timeout. And we'll see.
Looks like he's going to come off.
Yeah, the rule is whenever the trainer comes on the field, the player has to step off the field.
Yeah, Zampino.
He
seems to be that he is allowed to stay
staying on.
The rule should be that he may have to come out, but I guess we are corrected.
Zampino now staying out. Big gutsy decision. Gonna make through, but if it was the FCIAC Championship and I was in net, I'd stay in there. You'd have to drag me out.
Another yellow card. The 6th yellow card of the game. I don't think they're gonna be slowing down anytime soon.
Just about 10 minutes into the second half, and the electricity is there from both teams.
It feels like all these playoff soccer games come down to late in the second half. All so close, all these teams so evenly matched. You know, you look at the girls' side of the bracket, you had the top 4 teams all basically evenly matched. You know, New Canaan, who ended up winning it, had lost to the 3 other teams in the top 4 by just a singular goal. Same way goes on this men's side, right? You know, lots of ties in the record books. Obviously, Greenwich 12-0-3. One of those ties coming against Stamford, so all so evenly matched. Really, anything can happen at any given moment. All still being fought for. Now up towards the top of the circle. And ball played to the side, touched by Freeman. Freeman carrying it himself, then over to Stefan Zook. Cardinals just trying to kick it out. Going to go off a Knight to the side. So it'll be Cardinals possessions far sideline with the throw-in. And you know, Charlie, what have you liked about the way Greenwich has come out in this second half, you know, kind of increasing, ramping up that offensive intensity? What have you liked about it so far?
I love how they're using that speed from the wings that I keep mentioning that they need to use. And as you mentioned, the underdog and the mentality that they have, but also the mentality that Greenwich has to have, that if they lose this, it might go on to them.
There's the ball, the pass up, then the shot just a bit wide. That was Vargas on the shot attempt. He had an opportunity. My apologies, not Vargas. Instead, that was O'Halloran. O'Halloran, you see, take the shot, then immediately look up towards the sky. So close, just needed to be a few feet to the right, trying to go for that bottom left corner. Here is Maloney. Far side for the Cardinals. Maloney looking towards the middle. Can't find anyone. Ball bouncing around from Knight to Cardinal to Knight. Another Cardinal ends up on the ground. We'll see. It looks like he's going to be able to get up under his own volition. See the replay here, the play that took him down. Looked like he just got hit in the face again. You know, soccer is such a physical sport, and you don't want to catch an elbow to the wrong spot of the head or really any part of the body. Here is the free kick, the shot, and the good save by Zampino. Zampino holding strong in net, but you talk about a bounce shot like that. You really, that ball speeds up on you. That ball can slide, bounce to the left or the right. You don't know what'll happen.
Stamford fans not happy about one of their players being down right now.
Yeah, we'll see who it is. I can't see the number entirely right now.
You talked about Zampino. We talked to Coach before the game, and he said he's such a big part of this team. His leadership and who he is as a person really shines light on everyone else, and they've been keeping up under his leadership, and I think that's such a key factor for this team to stay together.
He gets up by himself. That was Vargas who went down. 26, 53 remaining in this second half. Still all knotted at 0. Ball's going to be moved. A big kick goes out wide. Then over to Zampino. Zampino takes it himself. Going to pick up the ball. Look for a pass, maybe a throw. But instead just passes it right to a Cardinal. Not entirely sure who he was trying to get the ball to. Did not find the right person. See more and more bodies are ending up on the floor. The physicality increasing as that ball gets a little bit slippier. That one close, almost a bad turnover. Here come the Cardinals. Be Uzuriaga over trying to feed it towards the middle. Then the good kick away though by Lazy.
Both teams need to clean it up. It's looking a little sloppy right now. You know, the weather is really affecting their touches right now. But if they can just get the ball down, connect with their players, they should be able to make something happen.
Another far shot. This one by Rizzo, picked up by Zampino. Zampino doing a little bit of work now, though, from the distance. You know, Greenwich just trying to get shots on net, looking for that ball to bounce out of Zampino's hands and maybe provide a second chance and third chance opportunity. That's the way they want to score right now. They're not going to rely on getting one of those far outside shots. They're going to look at those rebounds, and rebound control by Zampino becoming more and more important in this game.
Yeah, especially coming later. Almost 5 minutes away from the halfway mark in the second half. Nothing in the back of the nets yet.
A ball thrown in by the Cardinals, then redirected towards the middle, going to be kicked out by the Knights. You talk about kind of playing the sides of the field. If you're either defense, you don't want to be kicking that ball towards the middle. There's the touch, up just a bit too much. Results in Leon being sprawled out on the ground. Leon controlling the ball, but again, you see that ball just speed up once it skids. Once it hits the turf, it speeds up probably 2 times, 3 times the speed that it was going originally. See now, let's go Stamford chant breaking out from the sidelines. Lots and lots of energy still in the fans. The mood not being dampened by this weather. Here come the Cardinals down that far right side.
They're not calling that a foul.
Like they are calling it.
Yeah, you see a lot of bodies in the ground today, especially in the box. And last night, Claire, that's how you guys scored your goal, by you getting taken out in the box and then Paige putting in the back of the net. Talk to me about how these in-box penalties can affect the team.
I mean, one stupid decision and you could have everything, lost everything you've defended this entire match. I mean, if he went down in the penalty box and they scored, they would have been down 1-0.
Great header to get it up to a Knight. The pass over to that far corner. There is Freeman. Freeman trying to get it towards the middle. Good defense, though, by the Cardinals. Going to be called for a push in the back. That was number 7, Lopez. Going to be called for the push in the back.
Stakes are so high for this game. These teams are really doing whatever they can to help their team.
Few times in your high school career do you play a game with hardware on the line, but tonight's one of those times. The winner of this game will be the winner of the 2024 FCIAC Championship you mentioned, and Stamford has not won it in a very, very long time. Greenwich won it a few years ago, but Stamford was in the game last year. They just ended up losing to Trumbull, so coming back for revenge, maybe a little bit of vengeance too as well.
Yeah, and that game was a 3-2 game, so unfortunately for them, they were just 1 goal short.
And I believe it was Owen Bull who, correct me if I'm wrong, shot, it was a free kick or a penalty kick that sealed the deal for Trumbull, ended up being the game winner. But coming back, you know, and you mentioned, right, this team's got 17 seniors on the squad, so a lot of these guys remember what happened last year, fighting, laying it all out on the line. And, you know, I don't know how you guys feel when you're performing, playing out there, but sometimes I like playing in the rain. It's a little bit of fun, makes it fun, although it is wet and cold tonight. It can be fun at some points.
Yeah, you said for Stamford 17, but Greenwich has 22. But going back on Stamford, having 17 seniors, it's not only the seniors, though, it's the now juniors, last year sophomores who could be on this team last year, that they also have that taste in their mouth of that loss, and they want that back. It's number 11, Jaden Freeman, stepping off for the Black Knights.
Ball over to Lopez. Lopez now comes out of the scrum with himself. Beautiful ball towards that far left side. Just could not get the carry that he wanted.
That's what the Stamford Knights, though, are looking for. Every single time they get the ball, they're looking to switch the field to that far side because that's where they're going to get their momentum.
Here come the Cardinals a little bit. A 3-on-2 opportunity. Ball over to Uruziaga. The shot wide right. Saw there Zampino sprawled out on the ground. Cardinals with an opportunity. Then you see a few of the players raising their hands up, trying to get that crowd into it. You know, also one of the advantages right now is you got the students section and the crowds in your offensive zone, right? The Cardinals going from right to left on your screen, and to the left of your screen is the Cardinals student section, and same goes for the Knights, right, where you got your own student section in the offensive zone. So maybe That's what's needed to erase the zeros on the scoreboard.
Both these teams, though, have had great looks on goal. In the final third, though, they just need to punish those teams when they make a mistake.
Ball's thrown in by the Knights.
A legal throw, I think.
Ball goes back in the possession of the Cardinals. Cardinals, you know, recently the past few minutes have really had all the offensive opportunities, not so much going for the Knights. You see a lot of people back. You know, you only got 2 attackers up towards the front and everyone else for the Knights playing defense. If you're Greenwich right now, you're going to load the box, put in as many people, give as many players an opportunity to get a touch on that ball, whether it's a first touch, second touch, or a rebound. Here is the free kick by Zuriaga.
This could be a big opportunity for Greenwich.
Zuriaga, the kick in far towards that far side, headed back towards the middle of the field, then headed away. Head-to-head, ball hadn't touched the ground for about 5 seconds.
Playing a game of ping pong.
There, and then the shot just a little bit high. That was Hugh Jones for the Cardinal, just shooting a bit too high.
Fan saying the field goal's good.
Fortunately, the field goals don't get you points tonight, though.
Yep. That will be Friday night, though. Under the lights here at Dunning.
It will be. Friday Night Lights, New Canaan football plays Norwalk. Not sure how many New Canaan fans there are watching this game. But there, another call.
Stamford
This
fans
time.
not happy about that one.
Oh no, Halloran.
Quick transition by Greenwich.
Just over halfway through here in the second half. A lot of action so far.
Yeah, and a lot still to be played, right? Here is O'Halloran on that far side, ball back to the Cardinals. The Cardinals drawing it in, trying to pull it, push it deep inside that offensive zone. Here are the Knights that far side. It'll be Owen Fideli throwing it in for the Knights. Fideli throws it in, ball back towards the middle. But then again picked off this time by Maloney.
Yeah, Maloney having that leadership so far tonight has been a key factor for the Cardinals, as he has been played a pivotal role so far this season for the Cardinals, being undefeated aside from those 3 ties.
Still makes them undefeated though, right?
Yeah.
Here come the Knights, you know, opportunities becoming more and more scarce. This one kicked out by the Cardinals, giving them time to get back on defense. Get a few red jerseys back. The Knights, you see though, again, playing 3 defenders back. You got those 4 midfielders and your 3 attackers, but playing very cautiously. A little bit of physicality by Maloney, not going to be called. See, lots of the fans on both sides really wanting all the physicality to be called. But the rest of them playing in situations like this, especially a championship game. Ball kicked in. That'll force Leon to come out of his box. Leon makes the save. Good, smart decision, right? Don't let that ball get too deep.
Ball's in the air once again. Seen a lot of headers being played tonight.
Ball tiptoeing across that sideline. Going to be kicked back towards the middle. Again, a scrum for the ball at midfield. Cardinals coming away, through ball attempted towards that far left side. Just could not find a teammate. It'll be Knights ball. See the replay here on the play that set up this throw-in.
Great slide tackle there.
Here is Toro throwing for the Knights. Now, looks a little bit like a waste of an opportunity as ball goes back to the Cardinals. Throw in, good job by Toro. Ball up top. You got to be careful of those over the backs, right? You see a lot of times these defenders just too much, and that's when you call the over the back.
Yeah, both these teams got to be careful. We already have 6 yellow cards in this game. Don't want to have any more.
And you don't want one to be on the same person again, because then they are ejected from the game.
Suarez putting the ball in play, ball back to the Black Knights. Ball kicked into the sidelines. My apologies, into the student section. And Suarez throwing it back in here, but you see both these teams just fighting for possession. No one really able to establish the possession either, as big save by Zampino. Zampino still holding strong in net, but Charlie, what does Stamford have to do to start getting some more offensive opportunities and really some time of possession, right? Some consistent ball movement and just consistent time of possession.
I mean, they've been doing a lot better job this second half of keeping possession and getting shots on net and getting the ball closer to the net. But I think what they really got to do is pick their spot. Right now, they're just kind of shooting to shoot. They got to shoot to score. And I think that's not what they're doing right now, but they're increasingly doing. And I think they're going to finally have to put one in the back of the net.
Yeah, and then how are they going to transition from defense to offense a little bit quicker and a little bit more smoother?
I think just getting the ball out quick. You know, Greenwich is doing a great job getting the ball out quick, but Stamford has to mimic that and do the exact same thing by moving the ball quick, moving it upfield instead of playing back and whatnot. Just get it forward and get it fast.
Yeah, and Claire, what's the key for Greenwich to capitalize off of this pressure that they're forcing and these offensive opportunities where they're just a little bit, they're just close, they're just a little bit off? What's the key to converting some of these opportunities as well as maintaining this high level of pressure?
Well, inevitably, forcing the pressure on Stamford, it's eventually going to make them crack, and I think that's exactly what the Greenwich pressure is trying to do right now. It's a great tactic, honestly. With this weather, it's going to affect how the goalies are playing, how everything's playing. So if they can get one opportunity and they can convert on it, then goal.
And John and Claire here, I think there's that first goal is just out of the window now. I think it's score, you win here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the announcer jinx, but here we are. I think we're getting this late into the second half that the next goal will be the only goal.
Well, also, look at the way that Stamford's formation was there, right? You got 5 people, you got your 3 defenders, you got 2 midfielders, basically playing at that 50-yard line, really not wanting to allow Greenwich and a seam to convert and run in transition. So Stamford looks like they're content kind of playing this more of a defensive way, right, with a more of a defensive mindset and take those chances with the 6 other people you have up front. My apologies, 5 other attackers, whereas Greenwich is kind of throwing a lot more offense at the Knights.
And like we were talking about in the first half, the Knights are almost trying, like you just said, they're trying to play a more defensive game where Greenwich is trying to play a more offensive game, and you don't want to be the team that concedes the goal.
Yeah, and if this does go to extra time, it will be, oh, here we are. Here might be an opportunity. No, but like I was
that
saying.
was number 3. Was it 3? It'll be a corner, though, for the Knights. Maybe the opportunity that they needed.
Yeah, and if they do not score here, this might bring them into extra time, which will be 2 10-minute halves. Each team will start with possession and then go into penalty kicks.
See there, the replay, the play that set it all up. Here come the Tigers, the ball inside. Could not find anyone home, but now Greenwich playing all 11 players back, 10 players in their goalie. That ball's going to be cleared. Exactly what the Cardinals needed. If you're the Knights, get that back to Zampino. Zampino being chased, relentless. Big sliding play there by Danielle that may not be looked at as a key play, but that may have stopped a one-on-one for the Cardinals. You got to be careful where you're committing these fouls as well, as we've mentioned, right? You got to be aware of where that box line is.
And like
That
we were
one
just
looks like it
saying
was outside the
earlier
box.
about the pressure, you just saw that there. Greenwich played amazing pressure on Stamford, and it ended up conceding to them having a free kick.
Be Suarez taking the free kick for the Cardinals. Suarez now at about the 17-yard line. We'll see. You gotta think Suarez is gonna pass it, but there's always that chance that he could take the direct shot, make Zampino make a save. Pass inside, good header by that Knight defense to head it away. Now good job by the Knights to stop that offensive momentum by the Cardinals. Now 9:15 remaining in this second half. 9 minutes remaining in regulation, that is. 2 as well if we're still tied at 0. Charlie, obviously you've mentioned what the overtime rules are. Two 10-minute halves in the rain as well.
And then obviously if scoreless in the 2 10-minute halves, we will be going to PKs.
Now, we've seen both these teams really evenly matched. Stamford, Greenwich going back and forth. Ball now, hands of the Cardinals, that far corner. Good defense, though. Going to be kicked out. Forced to the side. And again, kicked out. Good job by this defense of Stamford to keep the ball out, right? Get it out quickly. I think that's one of the biggest things. Get it out to the side and get it out quickly, and then you'll be successful.
Stamford just not able to connect with their players right now. Greenwich just has majority of the possession.
Dangerous opportunity there.
Zampino takes that one over once again, doing a great job in net.
Zampino not scared to come out of the box either, which has been key, right? You don't want to wait back too long. Zampino doing a good job.
As well as Leon doing a great job. He's one of 3 goalies. Senior captain doing a great job as well.
That was Carvalho passing it to Rizzo. Cardinals spending most of this time on offense, right? Looking towards that corner, but a good job by the Stamford defense to, again, force them to the outsides. That's key. Little bend, don't break action, which you mentioned a few times, where you just force it to the outside, avoid keeping that ball in the middle. They're going to let him play. Another injured Cardinal down on the ground, pounding the ground in agony.
Great sportsmanship there. You always love to see that.
Not entirely sure who is on the ground. We'll see if we can get a glimpse at the number. See on the replay, though. I believe that might have been Carvalho, number 11, or Rizzo.
See, the rain is coming down hard tonight. As you can see in the light, that it is coming down. Claire, how much does that truly affect? We've been mentioning the slipperiness and the speed of the ball, but what else can this provide?
It can also affect how the goalies are handling the ball. I mean, if the goalie misses the ball, it comes out for a second rebound. I mean, that's deadly. So not just the goalkeeper, the wetness, I agree. Also the ball speed. You got to make sure you're playing it at the perfect speed so that your players can actually manage to get to the ball.
Ball's going to be headed in. Here come the Cardinals, an opportunity, but poked away.
Great defense there by the Stamford Knights.
Gotta wonder if the Cardinals will find a way to the back of the net with chances just like this one shown on the replay.
6:40 left in the second half, coming down to the final minutes.
There's Laduada there with the drive, trying to find someone. It'll be Uzaraga.
Oh,
And the goal! That's number 11, Carvalho.
We've been saying this all game, how deadly Greenwich's corners can be, and they just proved why they are so deadly.
Carvalho with the goal.
Getting the stands excited, getting that student section up and active.
What a touch by Carvalho there, the corner. Fed assisted by Uzaraga. Over to Carvalho, number 11 for the Cardinals. Oh my goodness. Will that be the dagger? 6:31 now.
I think it
remaining
will
in
be
this
myself.
Second half.
But
No,
never count Stamford out. They do have those clutch moments that they do need to bring tonight.
Just like last night in our game, there was 1 minute and 15 seconds left, and St. Joe's came back and scored. So just like you were saying, do not count Stamford out. You never know what could happen.
Here's Greenwich back on the rush.
Yeah, and again, it goes back. You know, we've seen very few corner kicks tonight, and I think that came a part of the strategy, right? Do not give your opponents those corner kicks because that's where you get the best opportunities to score. We've seen a couple dangerous free kicks, but those corner kicks have been deadly. That one, great, perfect placement on the corner by the Cardinals. That was Uzaraga over to Carvalho, and then Carvalho, beautiful touch up in the air off the foot. Ends up in the back left of the net. And Zampino, again, of course, lots of traffic blocking him in front of the net. Great job by the supporting cast of the Cardinals as well. Now ball is going to be played. You see that ball just keeps on rolling towards that far sideline. The Knights passing it around. Pressure being applied by Carvalho. Here are the Knights moving the ball. You see now Greenwich sliding up with their attackers, applying pressure.
Yeah, not stopping yet because there's still plenty of time maybe to get a couple more opportunities.
Yeah, you're right. You can't park the bus when you're up by 1. You park the bus when you're up by 3, 4, or 5 usually. Can't stop. You got to keep on playing as hard as you can.
Stamford needs to get up now. They only have 4 minutes and about 30 seconds left. They need to get this ball up, and they need to get moving.
And you can tell they really want it with the pressure that they're putting on.
Both teams really want it. This is what they've been working for all during the offseason and then during the season as well, working towards an opportunity to play for some hardware, playing for an FCIAC championship. We'll see how well they do in states as well. Maybe they'll find themselves at a state championship, but right now they can just focus on this game. Such a big game, the 2024 FCIAC Boys Soccer Championship here on NCTV 78. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us now, Carvalho had the goal a few minutes ago to put the Cardinals up 1-0, but it's been such a tight match, defensive chess match, if you will.
Oh, player
Both
down
teams
on the
going back.
Stamford Knights. Ochoa is down.
Ochoa hurting himself.
Calf cramp, maybe?
Looks like he is cramping. Letting the Cardinals
Charlie,
help
like you
him.
were saying earlier, the sportsmanship.
Yeah.
That's what you like to see.
Ochoa now down on the ground.
And Ochoa's been an essential player for Stamford. Those long balls off the goal kicks, you never want to see any player get hurt.
You know those cramps are going to be painful, as it has been a great game. 80 minutes.
It's been a tough about 75 minutes, right? Just constant running back and forth. We've seen the physicality time and time again as well. Both teams fighting, getting up after falling down numerous times. So you'll see the substitute come in for Greenwich. It'll be Vantui coming in. It'll be Uzaraga subbing out. Obviously, Uzaraga had that assist, and then you see Ochoa being helped off by the trainers. Ochoa limping off with support from, it looks like, a trainer and a coach.
Charlie and John, what do you guys now think with 3 minutes and 47 seconds left that Stamford is going to have to do if they want to score another goal?
Well, now it's go time, right? You have no time to think about whether you're going to play defense or you're going to play offense. No opportunity. You have to keep fighting, keep on fighting, but now is your time to go. You only have 3 minutes, 47 seconds left to fight for the FCIAC championship, and you got to keep on fighting. You got to get those through balls. You got to you got to give yourself opportunities to find one, net one in the back of the net.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing now, just sending everything forward. Getting back to this time. 3:30 left.
See, now it's going to be a lot of Greenwich. Going to play a lot of guys back. But if you're the Cardinals here, right, you're playing defensive, but if an offensive opportunity opens up, you're going to take it. You're going to pressure the ball, but you also, you've got to play defensive as well. Protect this 1-goal lead. Just can't get too content with it.
Greenwich not stopping, keeping that pressure as they might get another one here.
Past the defender. Zampino out of the box, big save. Zampino gets his hands on it and keeps that one out. You saw Zampino come out of the box, be hopped over by the Greenwich attacker.
See the replay here.
You see the replay, but saw him all the way outside of the box and then pass up top. Zampino.
That is a tremendous save right there.
What a save by Zampino.
Greenwich here are going to try and run the clock down by keeping it in the corner.
Yeah, a tactic often seen towards the end of late game situations. Stamford getting it out, gaining possession now. Got to get it out of that corner though. Do everything you can from keeping it out of the foot of the Cardinals and in the corner.
Just reaching that 2-minute warning in the second half. Time is ticking, and it's ticking fast for the Stamford Black Knights team. They really got to get going and finally put one in the back of the net.
Now another Stamford player down on the ground. In pain, maybe, we hope just another cramp. You can see he's not doing so well. That'll be number 15.
Charlie,
Tyler
like you were saying, you
Zembleski.
talked with Coach Suma earlier, saying that some of their players are banged up. Do you think this could have any effect on why some of these players are getting injured?
Definitely. I mean, that reoccurring pain in what most likely their legs, because they're running down the field so much. Definitely now getting late into the second half is going to be an effect. And I think Coach Suma is doing a great job keeping them under control. And also for Greenwich having those kids who are banged up, they're doing an even better job keeping them composed and making sure they're not running their bodies out of themselves.
Then at 42 seconds remaining in the second half, still down is that injured Knight player. So now ball picked up by Zampino. Zampino carrying it himself. Gonna pass it over to his teammate. And over to the corner, but now you see Greenwich doubling the ball, pressuring. The ball now taken by Van Tui. Diving play from that Knights defense, then kicked out of bounds, forcing the throw in.
Getting into this final minute here, it's gonna be a good one.
Should be a final.
Neither
good
team
final
is
minute.
quitting right now. Stamford Knights are still trying to find an equalizer, while the Greenwich Cardinals are not backing down on the pressure.
And you're going to see this, right? The Knights pressuring, trying to get the ball up, and the Cardinals pressuring, doing as much as they possibly can to not give another opportunity to the Knights. See the throw in deep, trying to get it to that corner. Van Tui closest to the ball.
See the Greenwich bench bumping up and down. They think it's it.
Last
could be the
20
first-
seconds.
This could be their first FCIAC championship title since 2017.
Victory formation, excitement now setting in for these Cardinals. Just 10 minutes, 10 seconds away from being crowned the 2024 FCIAC champions. Ball brought over to the corner of the student section, jumping up and down, cheering.
This has been a great game, though,
See
to watch.
midfield hugs.
That should
What
be
a
it
good
here
game
tonight.
it's been here between the Cardinals and the Knights now. Ball played in for the final time.
Seems to be that your Greenwich Cardinals
that's
are
it.
your 2024 FCIAC champions.
Cardinals,
done
your
it.
2024 FCIAC champions, the first time since 2017. The entire team going over, being mobbed by the student section. Will come out victorious 1-0.
An undefeated season for the Cardinals. They have done it. Aside from those 3 losses, could have been 3 ties, could have been a perfect season, but they did win, and that is all they needed.
I think the
Cardinals-
Stamford Knights also put up a great fight. This was a great game to watch. So entertaining, and I feel for them right now.
What a game it was between these two teams. 1 goal, the differential the entire season in the 2 matchups that they played. A lot of good sportsmanship, though, from both teams. You see a few of the Cardinals players walking over. You saw Matthew Maloney there, the captain, walk over to a Knight player, give him a hug, get him up from the ground. See it all around. That's one thing that the FCIAC does a great job of, is really expecting leadership out of all the athletes. Now the Cardinals going over, celebrating, then picking up all the Stamford players. What a game it was here tonight, guys. Between these two FCIAC heavyweights, obviously the Cardinals came out victorious 1-0, but that goal was scored late. You talk about kind of the celebration here, and that goal was scored in the second half. We knew it would be a low-scoring game, a defensive battle, but I don't know if we expected this low-scoring of a game. What a battle was put up by both the Knights and the Cardinals. Again, the Cardinals coming out victorious, the first FCIAC championship since 2017. Before we send it down to the field for the trophy celebration and everything that comes along with being championships, the medal awards and everything, we'd like to give a big thank you to our entire crew that helped out with the production here tonight. On producer, we had Braceland Flood, as well as our advisor, Roman Cebulski, always doing a great job supporting us as students in our broadcasting endeavors. You also had Nick Placencia, you had on camera Charlie Koch, as well as
Ryan Brooks. Yeah.
Who else? We had a lot of hands that may not have been seen. I know AJ Polici, one of our station managers, helped out a lot. And then the 2 people in the booth with me, Charlie O'Neill, Claire Greason, thank you guys so much. And that'll be it. We'll send it down to the trophy ceremony down on Dunning Field. Congratulations to the Greenwich Cardinals, the FCIAC champions for the first time since 2017. That'll be it from us here in the booth. Myself, John Frieders, Claire Greason, Charlie O'Neill. Thank you guys for watching on NCTV 78. And that'll be the 2024 FCIAC championship. Foot. Foot. Get him. Lawyers.
Both teams, please report to midfield. Both teams, please report to midfield. For the ceremonies, thank you. Both teams to midfield, please. Both teams can line up on their respective 40-yard lines. Both teams can line up on the 40-yard lines, please. On the 40-yard line, please, guys. Right there is good, guys. Thank you. Commissioner Schultz, are we ready to go? Okay, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a great round of applause for these two fine teams, and what a fantastic game. Thank you, guys. First of all, I'd like to announce the Eastern and Western Division champions. The Eastern Division champion in 2024, the Darien Blue Wave. And the Western Division champion in 2024, Greenwich Cardinals. And now, we'd like to present to the Stamford Black Knights the FCIAC Boys Soccer Runner-Up Trophy. Great game, guys. Congratulations, Coach Suma. Now, Mr. Schultz, we're going to do medals now, correct? Okay. And now I'd like to have, when I say your name, every Greenwich Cardinal player, if you guys could first of all line up, we're going to do numerical order. So, well, you don't really need to line up, but we're going to do numerical order. When I announce your name, please go up to Commissioner Schultz and get your gold medal. And I'll do the best I can with these names, guys. Number 1, Nicholas Marchenko. Number 2, Silas Cook. Number 3, Finn Hugh Jones. Number 4, Mink Vantuli. Number 5, Theo Rose. Number 6, Manny Bonilla. Number 7, Micah Kim. Number 8, James Whiteside. Number 9, Nick Vatum. Number 10, Matthew Maloney. Number 11, Pietro Carvalho. Number 12, Guy Rizzo. Number 13, Patrick Miller. Number 14, Thomas Tischler. Number 15, Luis Costa Gonzalez. Number 16, Nate Lappin. Number 17, Leonardo Baldera. Number 18, Joe Nagai. Number 19, Rodrigo Lopez. Number 20, Nico Fajardo. Number 22, Diego Gutierrez. Number 23, Francisco Valenciaga. Number 24, Logan Cuneo. Number 25, Marco Suarez. Number 26, Alexander Amato. Number 27, Eddie Arujo. Number 29, Patrick Kennedy. Number 30, Santiago Latuada. Number 31, Juan Bruzon. Number 32, Henry Davis. Number 33, Miguel Leon. Number 34, James Buck. And number 35, Oliver Almeida. And now, Commissioner Schultz would like to present the FCIAC Boys Soccer Championship Shadow Box to the Greenwich Cardinals. Congratulations, Greenwich. And now, our last announcement of the evening. The most valuable player of the FCIAC Boys Soccer Tournament. From Greenwich High School, number 3, Finn Jones. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, great game by both teams. Thank you all for being here to support the boys. We wish both Stamford and Greenwich good luck in the state tournament. Congratulations, everyone, and good evening.